If you're trying to figure out how to become a real estate agent in California, I've got good news and bad news for you. The good news is that getting your license is the easy part. The bad news is that getting your license is the easy part. Building an actual business in LA, that's the real work, and that's the part nobody sits down and explains. So today I'm going to answer the most frequent questions I get asked about both the how do I get licensed stuff and the nobody tells me what comes after stuff. Quick heads up before we get into it, I'm partnering with AceableAgent on the video. They are a California DRE-approved online real estate school, and a little later I'm going to walk you through how online licensing actually works and why it's a real option worth looking at. That's the disclosure. Let's get into your questions. First question. It's the big one. How do you become a real estate agent in California? Let me give you the whole thing start to finish so you can see the whole map. California requires 135 hours of class time. DRE approved pre-licensing education class time. It breaks into 3 sections. There's a 45-hour real estate principles course, a 45-hour real estate practice course, and there is 1 approved elective that you get to pick also for 45 hours. You complete the 135 hours, then you apply to sit the salesperson exam. That's the path. Do the coursework, take the exam, pass the exam, go hang your license with a broker. Everything else is just detail hanging off those 3 steps. The most surprising aspect of the coursework for me was how broad it was. It covered everything from land measurement units we really don't use here in Los Angeles, to different type of land rights that I've never seen in Los Angeles. And I can't say that I've ever used my knowledge of riparian and literal rights doing a deal in Beverly Hills. But you learn that throughout the course, and it's going to be part of the test, so you have to know it. That's how you get licensed. The actual licensing process is pretty easy. Once you complete that coursework, you'll be able to sign up for the state test. You do have to take the state test in person. Once you complete the test and you pass, assuming you do, they actually give you the results on site, but they tell you not to open it until you leave the building. I'm sure they don't want to be dealing with anybody who's upset face to face. The process is very simple, very straightforward, very structured. Once you're done, the next thing that everybody wants to know is, well, how long is it going to take to do all of that? How long does this process take? Well, I've already told you that it's 135 hours of class time. So however quickly or slowly you would like to accomplish that goal, that's up to you. Most people can do it in about 6 to 8 weeks. But the nice thing about having a self-paced online program is that you can control the speed. If you have more time, take more units, knock it out faster. If you're working a full-time job like I was and traveling, and you can take it at your own pace, you can slow things down. No one's rushing you to get done. It's completely up to you. The one thing that I see that tends to slow people's entire process down is scheduling the state exam, because it is hyper scheduled on the state side, and you're only allowed to schedule your exam once you have completed all the coursework. So you want to make sure that as soon as you are able to schedule your exam, you do so. I was working a full-time job, traveling for that job, and my ability to do the coursework on my own schedule, my own pace from wherever I was in the world was what made it so much less stressful. And I was actually able to sit and concentrate, whether I was in airport lounge, on a plane, or I found a particular coffee shop here in Beverly Hills to be able to sit outside, do a little people watching between units, get sun on my face, made my whole licensing coursework process so much more enjoyable and much more under my control. All right, the question I probably get more than anything else has to do with what is this whole thing going to cost? What does it cost to become a real estate agent in California? I am going to give it to you straight because most people only show you the first half and then they get blindsided by the second half, and I'm not going to let that to you. There are 2 layers to getting licensed: what it costs to get licensed and what it costs actually to go to work once you are licensed. So let's do the licensing part first. 4 pieces to the licensing part. The first is the cost of your course tuition. AceableAgent's California course starts right about $100, and they've got a few package levels above that with some different features. Number 2, the state exam. That fee is about $100. After you pass the state exam, you're going to need to get fingerprinted through live scan. Figure that's anywhere between $50 and $80. And then once you do get all of those things done, pass the exam and fingerprinted, you're going to need to activate your license with the DRE, and that fee is about $300. So from 0 to getting licensed, you're all in realistically somewhere between about $500 to $700. Of course, with my discount, you'll be able to sit at the lower end of that range. Now, here's the part that nobody puts in the brochures. Once you're licensed, if you want to call yourself a realtor and actually pull up listings, then you're going to pay dues. You're going to have National Association dues, maybe about $200. In California, you'll have another $340 to pay. You'll have another local board dues from around $350, depending on where you are. If you want MLS access, which is the system that lets you see all the listings, that's another $500 a year or so. You stack those up and you're looking at between $1,000 and $1,500 a year just to be in the game, plus a few one-time sign-up fees on top of that. And we haven't even gotten to the brokerage yet. When you sign up with a brokerage, there can be more fees. A lot of them charge an administrative or a transaction fee on your deals. Some of them charge a monthly brand fee or desk fee. And one of the biggest fees that people don't talk about or see coming is E&O insurance. That's errors and omission insurance. It's the coverage that protects you when a deal goes sideways, and it runs around $3,000 in Los Angeles right now per agent per year, though there are plenty of brokerages that'll roll it into a per deal fee instead. None of this is meant to scare you. I want to tell you this because I'd rather you walk in with your eyes wide open than getting surprised with a bunch of bills your first 60 days in the game. Getting licensed is relatively cheap. Running yourself like a business is where the real money lives. That's where the real numbers are. So you're going to need to budget for both. And look, I got licensed a long time ago, so I'm not going to pretend like the price I paid is the price today. Prices have moved, but those ranges are solid to plan around for right now. Before we go any further, let me knock out two quick myths because these two come up so often. Myth number one, you need a college degree to sell real estate in California. False. You do not need a degree. What you do need is to be older than 18 years old, and you need to have finished the required coursework and pass the exam. That's it. There's no degree. Myth number two, do you need a broker? Yes, 100%. You need to hang your license under a qualified broker, a sponsoring broker in California. You cannot go solo day one. It's just not how it works here. This lines up perfectly with the next question I get from busy people and career changers constantly. Can you do the whole thing online? Can you become a real estate agent in California online? Well, yes, sort of. And this is what trips people up. So listen close. In California, you can take the 135 hours of class time online as long as it is through a pre-licensing education course that is DRE approved. That's Department of Real Estate. The full coursework done online at your own pace. The one part that still has to be in person is the test. As we said earlier, you have to go to the testing facility and sit there in person. It's not that long. It's not that hard. But the education part, which eats up most people's time, can be done from your couch. And this is exactly why I'm so confident partnering with AceableAgent on this. It's DRE approved California school. It's fully online. It's mobile. You can knock out the coursework right on your phone. I can be at the gym on my lunch break between Zoom meetings. I can be anywhere and knock out this coursework. If you are a busy professional or you're changing careers and you can't sit in a classroom, I couldn't dedicate time like that to sit in a classroom. This is the flexibility that changes the whole game. And it's absolutely the option I'd point someone to today. I'm not going to oversell it to you, but if you're the kind of person who needs to learn on your own clock like me, it's genuinely a good fit. And that's why I put my name on it. Okay, so you've done all of that and you're licensed. Now comes the decision that actually matters more than the license itself. Who do you hang your license with? How do you choose the right brokerage as a new agent? This is where I watch so many agents get it so wrong so often. So many new agents chase the highest commission split, which as a new agent shouldn't be even on your radar. That doesn't make a difference. When you're a new agent, your split is the least important thing on the table. You don't have any business yet. What you actually need is the stuff that's going to make you good, real mentorship, actual practical training, a brand people recognize when you say it out loud, and a culture and an environment that you want to be a part of and take part in because you're going to be around it a lot. The money follows the skill every single time. So optimize for the environment that's going to make you dangerous on day one in your first year, not the one that means a few extra points on a deal you haven't even closed yet. This is absolutely where I see most agents go wrong. They get blinded by commission rates. They get into real estate because they see how much money can be made and then they want the highest split on day one. The biggest mistake you can make is going someplace that doesn't help you get to a deal quickly. Most of the time, the brokerages with the highest splits offer the least assistance. This is an exceptionally lonely business, and especially in your first year, you're going to need mentorship. You're going to need guidance. You're going to need resources to lean into. Most agents don't get their license and immediately have business handed to them. So make sure you're setting yourself up for success. 20% more commission on a deal sounds great, but if you don't have any deals, then 20% more commission really doesn't mean much. Here's the truth. Getting licensed doesn't make you a real estate agent. It just gives you a license. What separates the agents who build something real from the ones who watch out in 18 months has almost nothing to do with the exam. So let me tell you what actually matters. Because the reality is that the coursework is the process you have to go through to get your license. But what makes you an agent is being out in the field, working with other agents, doing transactions, being a part of transactions, witnessing transactions, going out and working with buyer's agents when you start and trailing them and shadowing them and understanding how they talk to clients, where they met the client, how they nurtured the relationship, what they do to understand their client's goals, how their client moves, how their client acts, understanding how to build a relationship without coming across as a salesperson. These are the things that make you an agent. These are the things that will help you do more deals. These are the pieces, the tools, the traits, the strategies, the tactics that will endear you to your clients so that your clients will go and scream your name from the mountaintop to their friends and family, because they'll want other people to work with you because they will see how good of a person you are and how good of an agent you are. The coursework and all of the stuff that you have to do to be able to just get into the game is one thing. Once you're in the game, to be successful, you have to treat it as a holistic environment. You have to treat it as relationship farming. You have to go out to meet people because you want to meet people. You don't want to go out and meet people because you see them as dollar signs. You want to go out and meet people because that's how you understand the market. What is this person doing? Where are they now? Where are they going? Where do they want to go? How can I help them? Who do I know? You are going to be an opportunity switchboard operator. You are going to meet people and talk to people and hear what they say and start processing the way that they exist to you differently. You're going to start seeing the connections of this person wanting to do something, this person having the thing that they want. That's what ultimately makes a real estate agent. It sounds ambiguous and nebulous, but the way that you get to success is understanding that your business is about opportunities, about creating them, about curating them, and about building relationships with your clients so that they trust you as a strategist and as an advisor. That will be the difference between the person that does deals or the 71% of agents that don't do a deal. So if you're serious about this is what I want to leave you with. Getting licensed in California is just step one, and it's the step everybody obsesses over, but the career gets built after you get licensed. It's showing up, earning trust, and being the person people actually call who answers the phone. Answer the phone. That's the whole game, and that's the part that never shows up on the exam. If you're ready to start AceableAgent, set you up with a code, use Tyler20 for 20% off their California course. I'll drop the link right below this video. And do me a favor, drop your questions in the comments. I'll actually read them and respond. I want you to tell me two things: where in California you are and what you want me to break down next. How to get to your first deal, what my first deal was like, how I broke into luxury, how you can break into luxury, picking a brokerage, whatever it is, tell me and I'll make it happen. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you on the next one.